Are you looking for the best cheap 3D printers? In this video we will look at some of the 9 best cheap 3D printers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Anycubic Photon M3 Max 3D Printers. If you're looking for an absolute flex when buying your best 3D printer, look no further than the Anycubic Photon M3 Max. Granted, a 7K resolution isn't the highest found in LCD screens, but this particular screen is 13.6 inches wide. That's twice the size of standard low to mid-range resin 3D printers. This means less time printing off big jobs and more big jobs. Photon M3 Max is stacked to take on some of the largest 3D prints possible in one print with a Z-axis height of 11.8 inches. The only limit to this big kit is your imagination and pockets. This is one of the most expensive resin 3D printers on the market, but it has the features to justify most of that cost. There's even an auto resin filler that tops up the resin vat when needed, but you must also remember to top up the filler. Most of these features can be found on a smaller scale for 3/4 of the price, but why not for those that can afford it? Number 2. Anycubic Photon M5S 3D Printers. Anycubic Photon M5S is a toned-down version of the M3 Max mentioned above, which isn't necessarily bad. In some ways, it's miles ahead of its expensive older sibling, with the 12K resolution monochrome LCD screen setting a fine example. Let's not forget about plenty of real estate on its 7.87 by 8.58 by 4.84 inch build plate, which should be more than enough for miniature or bust painting enthusiasts. Anycubic claims it can also print 3x faster than other standard resin 3D printers, however, that requires high-speed resin. Of course, this is a great feature, but it costs roughly double 1 kilogram of the far less fragile ABS-like resin. It auto-levels itself too, which makes this best 3D printer ideal for beginners or those who want an intimate plug-and-play experience. While Anycubic Photon M5S is a noisy resin 3D printer, it's great value for money. Its intelligent features also mean less messing about and more printing for users. A good example here would be the printer monitoring resin levels and keeping a digital eye out for print failures. It's a solid package that will produce some of the highest detailed prints on the market right now. Number 3. Elegoo Mars 3 3D Printers. 4K monochrome LCD screens are the standard for the best resin 3D printers these days. Elegoo Mars 3 knows this and delivers some solid specs for an entry-level printer. Perfect for miniature and other small 3D prints, its 5.62 by 3.5 by 6.8 inch sandblasted build plate has fantastic adhesion to ensure prints don't fall into the resin vat and fail. The one thing to look out for in lower-end printers is the quality of UV light coming from behind the LCD screen. Print failure rates will always be high if it's not uniform or patchy. Luckily, Elegoo Mars 3 uses 36 LEDs packed into a COP lens, providing up to 97% coverage. Long story short, it's a dome-shaped light fitting that provides enough light coverage for successful prints. Elegoo products always stand up to the competition thanks to build quality and practical choices over flashy. Mars 3 also has a renovated copper rod heatsink system, which means the printer will last for an age whilst keeping up its light output. One of the best slicing software for resin 3D printers is Anycubic, which is free, but a year subscription to the Pro version is also included. Number 4. Creality Ender 2 Pro 3D Printers. Accessible FDM 3D printing for beginners is now kinda on the pocket thanks to Creality Ender 2 Pro. Maybe the kids want to start printing off their items, which means the 3D printer needs to be moved around, and Creality has enthusiasts covered with the Ender 2 Pro. It's the closest to a plug-and-play experience FDM fans will get, needing to tighten only 7 screws with the rest of the printer being more or less pre-assembled on delivery. The printer's footprint is just 6.5 by 6.5 by 5.7 inches, so it doesn't take up an entire workspace. Alongside its family home practicality, Creality Ender 2 Pro has an auto-save feature called Resume Printing. This ensures power cuts don't send users back to the start of their print. When you get the power flowing again, it will kick off where the print left off. While it may look worrying initially that this best 3D printer only has one Z-axis beam, it's reinforced and strong enough to handle the load, so it's not a problem. The built-in power supply and motor cooling also add to the sleek footprint and effortless design choice Creality has gone for with the Ender 2 Pro. Whilst we can't promise this FDM printer won't be heard, it will be significantly quieter than traditional fan-cooled options. Number 5. Anycubic Kobra 2 3D Printers. Anycubic Kobra 2 is a fast FDM 3D printer that is worth the money. While the recommended print speed is 150 mm of filament per second, it can be turned to a maximum of 250 mm. This feature, alongside the Levique 2.0 auto-leveling system, means users can get set up and print quickly and easily. There's no wasting time leveling a build plate here, but the Z-axis can still be manually adjusted for those looking to do specific prints. The extruder features dual gears that are powered up to 60 watts, meaning users won't see any weak spots in their fast prints due to filament not being pushed through quickly enough. With this in mind, quicker doesn't always mean better, so turning the dial down a touch will ensure quality prints. Even the Z-axis has a special threaded rod that speeds up printing due to reducing print layers. A 5-piece modular setup complements this. In English, this means this printer comes in 5 pieces. Plug them all together and get going. There's a 1-year warranty on this model with a 3-month warranty on the printer head, so don't worry about the quality of this best 3D printer for a second. Number 6. AnkerMake M5 3D Printers. The best 3D printer can sometimes be subjective. The cheapest or feature-rich 3D printer might be the best for some, but not others, making finding the right one difficult. AnkerMake M5 represents the cream of the crop for FDM 3D printers, with a few extras to sweeten the deal. This premium printer has the specs and price tag to match, but it's worth every penny. Getting AnkerMake M5 up and running couldn't be easier. Screw in the dual Z-axis arms, plug in 4 cables, and turn it on after connecting to a power supply. Everything is built in and is guided via the responsible touch screen and the AnkerMake app. It also has its grassroots slicer that allows this printer to use its AI functionality. Like most premium 3D printers, this one has a self-heating, auto-leveling build plate that balances adhesion and removability. Printing anything on AnkerMake M5 is exceptionally easy. Load and let the STL file in the AnkerMake slicer auto-support the project and ping it over to the printer. Users can then watch the print remotely via the HD camera, although it would be better lit. This is one of the best FDM printers on the market right now, without a shadow of a doubt. Number 7. Elegoo Saturn 2 8K 3D Printers. Elegoo makes high-quality resin and FDM 3D printers, making them look cooler. The bottom line is that Elegoo products are solid bits of kit, with the Saturn 2 8K no exception. As the model name leans towards, it houses an 8K monochrome LCD screen, which means high-quality prints from start to finish. It also includes a tempered glass screen protector for when someone inevitably spills some resin, complemented by an 8.62 by 4.84 by 9.84 inch sandblasted build plate for good adhesion. Elegoo Saturn 2 8K also has air purification in mind thanks to its included plug-in air purifier with an option to upgrade to a full extraction system. The only issue is that the dedicated power out USB doesn't fire enough voltage to power anything but the standard bog purifier. Not the biggest issue, but not ideal. Number 8. Anycubic Photon D2 3D Printers. Anycubic Photon D2 Quiet Resin 3D printer option is certainly an acquired taste. However, it's still one of the best 3D printers for innovating the market. The standard for resin printing is using a backlit LCD screen to cure a resin layer to build the print project up. Anycubic Photon D2 uses a mirror array of LED lights known as DLP technology to achieve a better light spread and accuracy. This is the future of resin 3D printing, but it comes at a higher price point than regular printer competition. DLP brings many benefits, with the main selling point being quieter printing. It produces significantly less heat than standard resin 3D printers, which means no fans and a quieter machine. This also means Anycubic Photon D2 will last longer, with a quoted lifespan of 20,000 hours, according to Anycubic. Unfortunately, we don't have a TARDIS to test this. Number 9. Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro 3D Printers. Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro is attempting to do the impossible, create a quiet FDM 3D printer. Whilst that dream is a long way off, it uses silent stepper motors to bring that nozzle zipping clatter down. Made of high-quality stainless steel, this kit is also easy to set up, which is the best of both worlds. We could go into the ins and outs of all the parts that help nozzle pressure, adhesion, and proper heating. Still, all buyers need to know is that there's a serious amount of optimization under the hood to make Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro one of the best 3D printers on the market, especially for its price point. There are a couple of drawbacks, such as slightly slower print times than some other printers at this price point. But it's not the end of the world. What it lacks in speed, it makes up in features and build quality, such as its powerful dual-gear extruder and filament detection sensor. These smaller features add up to a great experience not found in said competitors.